Okay. So we have a lot to discuss after that showing we just watched last night. McDaniels first. Josh McDaniels. Okay. There was a lot of discussion about, do you kick the field goal? Do you not kick the field goal? Do you go for it right now? Do you try to score the touchdown, go for 2, all that nonsense? Okay. So let's run through the scenarios. We scored the touchdown, we don't get to 2, right? We scored a touchdown, we do get to 2. He ran a good 2-point conversion play for the Michael Mayer 2-point conversion, so I trust that he would have had a good play call, which means that I do think if we got the 4th and 4, we do score the touchdown and we tie the game. Now, there would have been some time on the clock left. So do we think that the defense can hold them out of field goal range? Well, it's more likely that we hold them out of field goal range than it is for them to just get 1 first down. Right? So ultimately, I don't think it was a good move to kick the field goal because the last time somebody in that position did so, it was Matt LaFleur, and Aaron Rodgers was like, you know what? I'm out of here. So I'm not really happy with kicking the field goal there. However, that's what everybody wants to talk about today. And I'm here to tell you that that doesn't even come close to mattering considering what I just watched last night. I mean, we all saw the same game, right? That game should not have come down to should we go for it or kick a field goal and try to get the ball back, because we played well enough to win that football game, and yet again, we were not ready to make the plays when the plays were there to be made. And ultimately, do you blame Marcus Peters for dropping a pick 6? Sure. Do you blame Jimmy Garoppolo for throwing up hospital balls to Devontae Adams and hand grenades to the opposing defense? Sure. Do you blame the line for not being able to hold off TJ Watt? I guess. But it's on Josh McDaniels. And I've given him the benefit of the doubt. Like, listen, we could complain and whine about Jimmy, but Jimmy's going out there because he's starting, because the coach is telling him that he's starting, right? So I think we are at a crossroads here, an unfortunate one. And I think it's one that we have to wait one more game before we officially smash the panic button as hard as humanly possible. And by hitting the panic button, that means starting Aiden O'Connell. The defense in this game was fine. A couple terrible play call, design, scheme choices out of Patrick Graham. The first down that we let up at the end was absolutely pathetic and embarrassing. Each corner was pressing 6 yards off, and when they only needed 3 or something like that. I think it was 2 or 3. The deep shot, we blitzed and we didn't get home, and that's another bad play design by Patrick Graham, and a series of consistent bad play calling from a defensive coordinator that doesn't look like he knows his right hand from his left. I left him out of a lot of discussion because I wanted to give not only him the benefit of the doubt, but the new players and Dave Ziegler the benefit of the doubt, and it's now 3 games, and we still can't get it done defensively when the lights are on us the brightest. 23 points to the Pittsburgh Steelers is not going to get it done. Sorry about that. If you want to win a game where you're not going to score any points, you have to do something like the Patriots and hold the Jets to 10 points. That's what you're going to have to do. And right now, we don't generate turnovers. We don't generate pressure. We don't generate uncomfortable feelings from the opposing offenses. We don't do anything on defense to warrant Patrick Graham coming back next season. Offensively, it wasn't much better. Some would argue worse. Jimmy Garoppolo had some unbelievably terrible decisions in this game. He was protected well-ish. TJ Watt's going to do his thing, but he had time in the pocket to make some throws, and Devontae Adams is a dog. We'll get to Devontae Adams' comments in a second, but we have no run game still. Josh Jacobs looked a little bit better. We have no secondary receiver. Jacoby Myers is there sometimes, and sometimes he's not. Hunter Renfrow is non-existent again. He showed up a couple times in some meaningless catches. And we don't have a secondary running back either to take the load off Josh Jacobs when he's getting pounded in the backfield as soon as he touches the football. Can you tell that I'm a little upset? Is it time to blow everything up? No. We're 1-2. People have come back from worse. What was Jacksonville? Like 2-7, and they made the playoffs, right? And, football's weird. The Cowboys beat the Cardinals. No, the other way around, actually. But here's what I will say. If we play the Chargers next week and we get beat by 10 or more and the game's not close, I think you at least start Aiden O'Connell and bench Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I have a harebrained theory. Jimmy Garoppolo is getting evaluated for a concussion, even though he played the whole game, which is not how that's supposed to work, yet here we are doing that. And I think they might use that as an excuse to put Aiden O'Connell in the game. If by some crazy happenstance Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play next week and they start Brian Hoyer, I would consider for the first time in my entire life skipping a Raider game. However, I don't think that would happen. I think Aiden would get the start. And if Aiden comes in and doesn't play particularly well and doesn't give us a great chance to win, I would continue to ride with him and trade Devontae Adams for a first-round pick. And then you could see, does Aiden O'Connell develop into somebody that we can run with in the future, or we have a terrible season, we get to draft Caleb Williams or Drake May or one of these other guys, and we have 2 first-round picks, and we draft, Marvin Harrison Jr. with the other one, and we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm willing to hold on for dear life for one more game to see if McDaniels can finally take a hold of a game plan, execute it with Jimmy Garoppolo, convince him not to throw hospital balls, and get the run game going. Because if it doesn't shape up, we're done. We're done. Because like I said, it shouldn't have come down to that decision at the end of the game. Whether you want to say he did the right thing and the wrong thing, and I think he ultimately did the wrong thing, it should not have come to that. It should not have come to that. And even if we were to win that game, we weren't doing anything this season the way we were playing thus far. And look, the Buffalo Bills destroyed the Washington football team, which has, a pretty solid defense. So maybe that game last week was just a matter of them being really, 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 really good. But here's what I will say. Our team isn't scoring 70 anytime soon, so we can't compete with the likes of the Dolphins and the Chiefs and the Bills the way we are currently constructed with the quarterback under center and the current head coach. I'm giving both of them, Jimmy and Josh McDaniels, one more game to prove that they have anything going. And if they don't, McDaniels better start AOC, and he better save his job security, because right now I'm looking at anybody else. I don't even think I introduced myself. I'm Rodney. I'm a little upset just because I didn't think it would be so inept offensively. And I know the Steelers are a good defense, but it's not like they forced our hand with some of those plays. We made all the mistakes. If you're new, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to turn this into a full-fledged career. And the best way you guys can help me out with that is by dropping likes and dropping comments. Please be sure to subscribe. It is free after all, no charge to you. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.